Jack Reacher, To Catch a Wolf.
Thanks for the lift, bud.
No problem, Bob. Same old Jack Reacher. On the road again like Willie Nelson. Standing on a series of gray rocks with the Highway Arizona Road behind him. Just finished hitching a ride from a trucker. And finishing up his cup of Starbucks espresso. In front of him is a rural bar. The name of the bar is called the Dark Forest. Reacher begins to walk towards it. Before opening the entrance to the bar to go in, Reacher sees a sign on the left side window. It is written on a piece of box material. The sign read, TV out of use. Reacher didn't seem to mind that. A guy like him going from place to place without a house didn't need TV for entertainment. After being on the road for 18 years now, he always ends up becoming part of the entertainment. For real. Reacher sees an empty garbage can nearby and throws the empty cup of espresso in it. And goes into the bar. The bar didn't seem that dark of a forest like the title put it out to be. It seems to be the same as every other bar Reacher had been in before. With dim lights, crowded people, jukebox music, smell of alcohol, beer, farts, and cigarettes. But the thing Reacher mostly enjoyed seeing in bars were the lovely, beautiful ladies. Whether they were customers, waitresses, or bartenders themselves. Reacher spots the front bar counter on his right side, walks towards it, and sits in one of the stools. The bartender was an African-American man who was bald with a large belly but not fat. Reacher sees the bartender trying to get the TV to work by moving the antenna around and slightly banging on it, but still no luck. Daggone analog shit nowadays. That's it, I'm going digital. The bartender walks up to Reacher to serve him. What'll it be, fella? Just mineral water in a bottle. Water in a bottle? That's it? What, you one of those big buff health nuts or something? I had to guess, seeing how big and buff you are. Now I just go with what I need for the moment. Okay, you the boss. One water in a bottle coming up. The bartender turns from Reacher, goes to the huge refrigerator right behind him, opens it, and takes out an ice-cold bottle of mineral water. Reacher looks over and sees that the fridge is full of them, along with the beers, and etc. He already feels the urge to have another one later. The bartender walks back to Reacher and gives him the bottle of water. There you go, big fella. Don't expect us to have any Gatorade now. Thanks. The bartender walks off to serve the other customers. Before Reacher opens his bottle of water, he decides to walk over to the jukebox, takes a quarter out of his pocket, and drops it into the jukebox.
I'm buying. Everybody drink.
Oh, yeah.
Reacher walks back to the counter and sits back on the stool. He begins to open the bottle of water and begins to drink, and sets the bottle back on the counter. After his first drink from the bottle is already half empty. Suddenly the front door opens. Reacher turns his head to the entrance to see who is there. It is a strange, grisly, facial-haired looking man with long, curly hair. He is a brown-skinned man, giving Reacher the impression that this guy may be Mexican, Arab, or any other biracial descent. He is wearing a soft black jacket with a dark blue shirt. He is sweating too much all over that his shirt is soaking with sweat. This seriously begins to catch Reacher's eye. But what catches his eye down to his pupil is who the guy came in the bar with. An 11-year-old girl. She is wearing a red raincoat with a hoodie attachment over her head, covering her face. She is looking down at this point. Reacher decided to give these two bizarre customers names in his head. The brown-skinned guy has a grisly, unshaved, ungroomed beard. Facial hairs and his long hair is down to his shoulders, uncombed, unbrushed, and while looking like an animal, which Reacher calls him in his head, Wolfman. And the little girl with the hoodie red coat, Red Riding Hood. Wolfman and Red Riding Hood spots a row of round circle-shaped tables that are on Reacher's right side. Each one of these tables have 4 chairs. Wolfman and Red Riding Hood walks to one of the tables, pulls 2 chairs back from it, and sits down. Wolfman just sits back, exhausted. Reacher thinks, according to the sweat on Wolfman's shirt, that he must have been running or jogging with this little girl who probably might be his daughter or some other relative. Red Riding Hood is sitting wearing her hoodie with her head still down. Wolfman takes a quick look at Red Riding Hood and rubs the back of her head like a pet puppy dog. Reacher decides to turn his head away back to the bartender. Give me another water, please. Get your Gatorade sick, huh? Meanwhile, 3 stools away from Reacher is a very provocative blonde young woman scoping Reacher out like a snake coldly targeting its prey. She is wearing a pink sleeveless tank top with Daisy Duke shorts and black leather shiny silk boots. In front of her on the front counter is a bottle of cold Miller Lite beer that was served to her. Ten minutes later in the bar, Reacher has now drunk to 5 bottles of mineral water and stacks the bottles in an assembly line. Seeing this brought Reacher back to his time in the military bases as a military brat. how the soldiers were all lined up outside the bases and him as one of them. Meanwhile, the blonde who was 3 stools away from him walks to the jukebox, drops a quarter in, and picks a song. The blonde walks to the front counter and sits on the stool next to Reacher.
Health nut.
At this time, Reacher is looking down thinking. He looks up at the gorgeous blonde, centerfold-looking beauty beside him. The second after the first stare of her, he slowly raises his upper body on the stool in alignment with a strange grin on his face, like he was impressed by her for some reason. No. Like I said to the bartender, I just go for what I need for the moment.
So do I. That's why I played the song for you in the jukebox.
Why? You think I'm a magician or something?
Well, no. See, there's a difference between a magic man and a magician.
How so?
Well, a magician is someone who shows his magic to entertain kids. A magic man is someone who has a unique style to him. A magic touch.
Very flattering. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Ever since leaving the police force, Reacher had always found bad luck and trouble. Whether it would be with a mob boss, a corrupt police force, a terrorist, rapists, serial killers, and revolutionary cults. But during that, he always found good luck with women.
My name's Amber.
Sticking her right hand out for Reacher to shake it. Jack Reacher. Reacher shakes it.
So where you from, Jack Reacher?
All over.
Oh, jeez. Don't tell me you're one of those.
One of those what?
You know, one of those guys who like to hit it and kick it on the open road instead of laying back in a house somewhere.
Can't help it. Guess it's in my DNA. I never lived in a house anyway. I tried it once, but it just didn't fit for me.
You never lived in a house before then? Where the hell have you been living? In a cave?
I wish. A base. Military bases, actually. My father was in the military.
Ooh, a military brat. I like that. Definitely a magic man. I knew there was something besides that dirty blonde hair and the 6'5" height. And those looking muscles that make you look like a condom filled with walnuts.